The Harrisons had never planned on stopping in Coldwood. Michael Harrison had been driving for nearly 7 hours, the endless stretch of highway across the Midwest making him feel as though time itself had been swallowed by the open road. Cornfields blurred past, the same endless yellow and green repeating for miles, while the old Chevy hummed beneath him. The sun had begun to bleed out over the horizon, casting the landscape in shades of crimson and gold. Michael's eyes, fixed on the road, flicked nervously to the fuel gauge. The needle hovered dangerously close to empty. "Damn it," he muttered under his breath. "Daddy, I'm hungry." Chloe's small voice piped up from the back seat. 10 years old, her voice carried that mix of innocence and worry that made Michael's chest tighten. "Yeah, me too," Ethan added, lounging against the window with earbuds dangling from his phone. 16, lanky, restless, always bored. He scrolled the empty screen again. Does this place even have signal? Laura, in the passenger seat, tried tracing their route on a folded road map. "We were supposed to reach Brenton by now. I don't see it anywhere on this map." Michael exhaled. "We'll figure it out. Just keep an eye out for a gas station." Chloe pressed her small hand to the window. "Look!" An old wooden sign, leaning slightly, came into view. Its paint was cracked and faded, but the words were still readable. "Welcome to Coldwood. Founded 1821. Don't look behind." The family fell into silence. Ethan gave a half-laugh. "What kind of creepy-ass motto is that?" Laura shivered. "Probably just a tourist gimmick." Michael forced a laugh. "Yeah, a little town trying to be memorable. Don't worry about it." The road narrowed as they drove into Coldwood. The town looked frozen in time. Wooden storefronts, paint peeling, dusty windows. A diner on the corner had a flickering neon sign that alternated between eat and tea. The gas station across the street looked decades old, its pumps faded red and silver. But what truly unsettled Michael were the people. They stood on the sidewalks, not many, maybe a dozen, every single one staring at the Chevy. Their expressions were unreadable. Their eyes followed the family, unblinking. Laura's voice trembled. "Mike, they're staring at us." Michael forced a smile. "It's a small town. Outsiders don't come through often." He pulled into the gas station. The engine ticked as he shut it off. Chloe whispered softly, almost too quiet to hear, "They don't want us to leave." Michael shrugged it off, stepping out of the car. The air smelled faintly metallic, damp. The gas station attendant, an old man with cloudy eyes, shuffled out. His name tag was scratched beyond recognition. "Evening," he rasped. "Evening," Michael replied. "Fill her up, please." The man nodded slowly, moving deliberately. His eyes lingered on Michael longer than necessary. Inside the store, Laura took Chloe's hand. The fluorescent lights flickered, buzzing faintly. Shelves were half-stocked with faded products. Dust hung thick in the air. Chloe tugged at Laura's sleeve. "Mom, why did the sign say don't look behind?" Laura tried to reassure her. "It's just a slogan, honey. Nothing to worry about." But even as she said it, unease crept up her spine. The cashier, a middle-aged woman with hollow cheeks, watched them intently. She spoke flatly, almost monotone. "Traveling through?" "Yes, just passing through," Laura replied cautiously. "Best not to linger," the woman said, her eyes darting to the corners of the room. Then, almost as a whisper, "Don't look behind you." Michael finished fueling the car. The old attendant shuffled closer. "You got young ones in there?" he asked. "Yes," Michael said. "Why? You best keep him close tonight." His words were low, solemn, and heavy with warning. Back in the car, Laura said nothing for several minutes, gripping Chloe's hand tightly. The road ahead stretched dark, endless. Suddenly, the radio flickered, static filling the air. Faint whispers threaded through it, unintelligible yet unmistakably there. Chloe pressed her face to Laura's shoulder. "He's close," she whispered. Michael exhaled slowly. It's nothing. Just the static. But the road felt wrong. Endless. The darkness seemed alive, pressing against the car from all sides. Daddy, why is the road the same? Chloe murmured, eyes wide. We passed that tree, and the fence, and that mailbox. I think we're going in circles. Michael's stomach turned. He forced his eyes ahead, but the pattern repeated. Trees, fields, fences. Everything identical, stretching into infinity. Ethan muttered, I knew it. This is messed up. We are in circles. Laura gasped. It's like the town doesn't want us to leave. A shadow flickered across the windshield. Michael blinked. Nothing was there. Chloe whimpered. I saw him behind us. Watching. The family fell silent. Fear replaced all other thoughts. Michael gritted his teeth. Don't look behind. From that moment, every mile, every shadow, every whisper became unbearable. The small sign's words echoed in their minds. Don't look behind. Don't look behind. By the time the town's lights faded behind them, they knew one thing for certain. Coldwood had begun following them, and whatever waited there, whatever haunted the town, would not let them go easily. Night had fallen over the Midwest like a shroud, thick and unyielding. The Harrisons' Chevy rolled along the narrow highway, headlights cutting through the dense darkness ahead. Every mile seemed the same as the one before. Cornfields stretched on either side, swaying under the whispering wind, and the occasional dead tree appeared again and again as though the road itself refused to move them forward. Chloe pressed her forehead to the window. It's dark, Daddy, and I think he's here. Michael tightened his grip on the wheel. Who, honey? The man or the thing? Behind us. Her small voice trembled. Laura shot Michael a panicked glance. Chloe, look away. Don't. Chloe shook her head. No. I see him. He's following. He glides, not walks. Ethan snorted, half annoyed, half nervous. Mom, it's a dark road. Stop freaking out. There's nothing there. Michael, however, didn't laugh. He glanced at the rearview mirror. For a moment, he saw it. A dark, elongated silhouette hovering far behind them. Impossibly still, impossibly thin. Then it vanished. Chloe, sit back, he ordered, forcing calm into his voice. But his pulse thumped in panic. A cold wind whipped through the car as though the night itself had entered. The trees lining the road bent unnaturally, shadows twisting into shapes that didn't exist. Faint whispers trailed along the highway, unintelligible but unmistakably human, soft, urgent, calling their names. Michael, he's calling me, Chloe whimpered, curling closer to Laura. Chloe, no. Laura snapped. Her voice was trembling. She pressed her fingers into her daughter's shoulder, forcing her to focus ahead. The radio flickered. Static hissed, then voices, distorted, murmuring, don't look behind. Ethan rolled his eyes, but his hands shook slightly. Okay, maybe there's something weird here, he muttered. Michael's stomach turned. Every instinct screamed to keep driving, keep moving forward, but the highway now felt like a loop, repeating trees, fences, fields, and the same dead, crooked sign every few miles. Welcome to Coldwood. Don't look behind. Michael, we've passed that sign before, Laura said, voice tight. I know we have. I know, he said, his knuckles white on the steering wheel. The road stretched endlessly, unchanged. He tried to force reason into his mind, fatigue, imagination, repetition of similar landmarks, but instinct screamed otherwise. Something unnatural had claimed this place. Chloe's small hand gripped his sleeve. He's getting closer. The car's headlights flickered, then steadied. The road ahead seemed normal, but the rearview mirror reflected a faint silhouette, darker than the night itself. A figure standing just beyond the range of the lights, motionless yet watching. Michael swallowed. Don't look behind. Chloe whimpered. I can't help it. He's so tall, so thin. Laura pressed her hand to her mouth, realizing the fear was contagious. Ethan, for once, was silent, staring at the mirror with wide eyes. The wind carried whispers again. This time, Michael recognized words. Turn around, see him. Don't, Laura shouted, grabbing Michael's arm. But in the back seat, Chloe had already pressed her face against the glass, drawn like a moth to the unnatural figure behind them. Her tiny body trembled violently. Michael's heart pounded. The old words repeated in his mind. Don't look behind. Don't look behind. Suddenly, the radio exploded in static, and for a heartbeat, the car filled with a cacophony of voices. Michael, Laura, Ethan, Chloe, screaming, whispering, crying. Then silence, deep and suffocating. The family shivered. The night felt alive, thick with eyes unseen, waiting. Hours seemed to pass. Each mile was identical. Trees bent into grotesque shapes. The shadows lengthened unnaturally. The cornfields whispered in voices Chloe could hear, but none of the others could. Ethan finally spoke, voice low. This isn't normal. This road, it's looping. I saw that fence again. That dead tree. That same mailbox. We passed them hours ago. Michael didn't answer. He couldn't. Every instinct screamed to keep moving, but logic failed. How could a road repeat? How could darkness warp reality? Then Chloe screamed. The figure had appeared closer. Its silhouette was sharp now, fingers long and twisted. It glided silently, impossibly fast. And it was staring, always staring. Michael's voice was firm, though his body shook. Chloe, close your eyes. Don't look behind. Just focus on me. Chloe squeezed Laura's hand. He knows if I do. Laura's mind raced. She remembered the townspeople, the old man at the gas station, the cashier. All warnings, all the same words. Don't look behind. And now, in the darkness of the endless highway, that warning wasn't advice. It was survival. Minutes, or hours, they couldn't tell, passed in silence. The wind carried faint, distorted whispers. Chloe muttered them under her breath. Behind. He's here. Don't look. Suddenly, the headlights reflected something on the side of the road. A figure, crouched low, elongated limbs scraping the asphalt. Michael swerved slightly, heart hammering. Drive. Don't stop. Laura screamed. The Chevy raced forward. Behind them, the figure didn't run, didn't chase. It glided. Constant. Endless. Waiting. Chloe pressed her face to the glass, eyes wide, trembling. He's behind, waiting. Michael's voice shook. Don't look. Do not look behind. The family's car continued down the night-shrouded highway, swallowed by darkness. Every turn, every mile, every shadow whispered the same truth. Coldwood wasn't a place to visit. It was a trap, and whatever was following would never let them go. The highway seemed endless, a dark ribbon curling into infinity. Behind them, Chloe's words repeated like a chant. He's behind, waiting. Michael gripped the wheel tighter than he ever had. The silhouette, impossibly thin and tall, glided just beyond the range of the headlights. Its presence was suffocating, a weight pressing into their chests. The whispers had returned, threading through the car. Don't look behind. Laura's voice trembled. Mike, we have to stop somewhere. We can't keep going like this forever. Ethan, pale and tense, muttered, Anywhere but here, Mom. Anywhere. Just ahead, barely visible through the fog and darkness, stood a building. Its windows were shattered or clouded, the sign swinging weakly above the entrance. Coldwood Boarding House. Vacancy. Michael cursed under his breath. It's abandoned. But we don't have a choice. Laura held Chloe close. We have to stay for tonight. Please, just for tonight. The moment the car stopped, the world seemed to hold its breath. Shadows stretched unnaturally along the cracked pavement. The figure from the highway was gone, but the air was thick, electric, as though something had entered the building with them, or was waiting inside. Inside, the house smelled of mildew, rot, and something sharper, metallic. Broken furniture lay strewn across the floor, the walls peeling and water-stained. Every step the family took echoed ominously, magnified by the emptiness. Michael led them in, flashlight cutting swaths of light through the darkness. "We'll stay in the largest room upstairs," he said, voice firm but shaking. "Keep doors locked, and whatever you do, don't look behind." Chloe whimpered. "He's already inside, watching." Laura held her daughter close. "Should just stay close. Don't wander." Upstairs, the room they found was worse than expected. A broken bed frame, shattered mirrors, dust thick enough to choke, and shadows that seemed to move independently of the flashlight. Chloe clung to her mother, muttering under her breath, "Don't look behind. Don't look behind." Ethan, flashlight in hand, swept the room. "This is insane. I can't believe we're actually staying here. He trailed off as the beam of his flashlight caught something impossible, a tall, dark figure reflected in a broken mirror. It wasn't theirs. It moved, gliding across the cracked floor. Chloe screamed, the sound piercing the silence. "He's right there." Michael spun around, but saw nothing. Don't look. Stay away from the mirrors." The shadows in the corners of the room thickened, twisting like smoke, forming shapes that whispered unintelligible words. The temperature dropped, a chill so deep it felt as though it had entered their bones. A single, distorted voice cut through the darkness. "I see you." Chloe buried her face in Laura's chest. Ethan dropped the flashlight in panic. Michael grabbed his wife and daughter, huddling in the middle of the room, trying to shield them. Then it moved again. Across the floor, just beyond the candlelight, the figure glided silently, impossibly fast, circling the room. The whispers grew louder, more urgent. "Don't look behind." Minutes or hours, they couldn't tell, stretched in this torment. Every creak, every flutter of broken glass, every shadow seemed alive. Chloe repeated the words over and over, almost as if chanting a protective spell. "Don't look behind. Don't look behind." Ethan finally spoke, voice shaking. We can't survive this. It's everywhere. It's in the walls." Laura whispered, tears running down her face. "We have to get through the night, just survive until daylight." The figure paused at the edge of the room, just beyond the glow of the candle. Its head tilted unnaturally, and for the first time, Michael felt the full weight of its gaze, penetrating, patient, unrelenting. Then it vanished. Silence swallowed the room. Only the creak of the old floorboards and the faint hiss of wind through broken windows remained. The family collapsed to the floor, huddled together, trembling. The house itself seemed to breathe around them, alive, watching. By dawn, the first weak light filtering through shattered windows brought little comfort. The shadows had receded, but Michael knew, instinctively, that the figure had not left. It had merely waited, patient. Chloe pressed her forehead against the window, whispering, "He's still there, in the glass." Laura and Michael exchanged fearful glances. They understood now that the warnings were real, the phrase not mere superstition, "Don't look behind." And the house, with its broken mirrors and shifting shadows, had only intensified what followed them from Coldwood. The night had tested them, pushed them to the edge, and left them trembling. Whatever awaited, they knew it was far from over. The figure, the curse, the endless presence of Coldwood, it would not rest until they had faced it fully. And with the first light, the only thought that crossed Michael's mind was, "Tonight, we survived. But how much longer before?" Michael rubbed his eyes, exhausted, his fingers still trembling from holding Chloe tightly through the night. Laura's grip on Chloe hadn't loosened for a single second. Ethan sat against the wall, pale, silent, haunted. The air was still, almost eerily calm, but the oppressive presence of the entity lingered, unbroken. Chloe pressed her small forehead against the cracked window pane, whispering the words that had saved them thus far. "Don't look behind, don't look behind." Michael swallowed hard. "We can't stay here. We have to leave now." Laura nodded, but her voice trembled. "It's not going to let us go, not like this." The family gathered their meager belongings, moving cautiously down the stairs. The shadows of the house seemed to pulse and stretch, reacting to their presence, writhing like living smoke. Every step echoed like a drumbeat in the silence. Then it appeared. At the edge of the candlelight, in the hallway leading to the front door, the figure materialized. Taller than any human, impossibly thin, its elongated limbs gliding without sound. Its head tilted unnaturally, as if observing them, memorizing their fear. The whispers returned, this time sharper, commanding. "Look behind, look behind." "I see you," Chloe screamed, clinging to Laura. Michael stepped in front of his family. Don't look. Get to the car now." Ethan froze, adrenaline and terror battling. His curiosity flared, an instinct he could not suppress. Against every warning, every scream, he turned his head, just a fraction of a second. The result was instantaneous. A shadow lunged from the hallway, faster than thought. Ethan screamed as the air seemed to rip around him. The figure's elongated fingers grazed his shoulder, and the force threw him to the floor. The shadows consumed him in an instant. His scream echoed, then vanished into silence. Michael's heart stopped. "Ethan!" Chloe screamed again, wrapping herself around Laura. Michael stepped forward, fists raised, voice trembling but furious. "Stay back." The figure paused, seemingly studying Michael, the faint glow of its eyes piercing the darkness. Then, impossibly fast, it glided toward them. "Run!" Laura screamed. They bolted through the house, stumbling over debris, ignoring the whispers that followed them. "Don't look. You can't escape." Reaching the car, Michael fumbled with the keys, hands slick with sweat. Chloe climbed in first, then Laura. Michael turned to see the figure in the doorway, impossibly tall, its head twisting unnaturally. He jumped in and slammed the door. The engine roared to life, but the shadows pressed against the windows, a suffocating weight. In the rearview mirror, he glimpsed the figure again, impossible, gliding silently behind them, unwavering, relentless. Chloe pressed her face to the seat, whispering, Don't look behind." Michael drove without thinking, without looking, the road a dark ribbon that seemed to stretch forever. The boarding house receded into the mist, but he knew, deep down, that cold wood had not released them. The entity had followed, patient, unstoppable. Hours passed. The highway finally widened. Dawn broke fully, weak sun glimmering on the wet asphalt. The figure was gone, at least not visible in the daylight. Silence replaced the whispers, but the Harrisons didn't speak. Chloe, still shaking, muttered, "It's still there. I can feel it." Laura hugged her tightly. "We survived the night. That's all that matters." Michael exhaled, but even as relief washed over him, the words echoed again in his mind, almost instinctively. "Don't look behind." He glanced briefly in the rearview mirror, not at the road behind, but the faint glimmer of a shadow across the horizon. He blinked. The figure was gone. For now. Yet as the family drove on, none could shake the certainty that cold wood had not released them. That dark, patient presence had marked them. And in the back of Chloe's mind, the words remained, a chilling mantra. It watches, it waits, don't look behind. The highway stretched endlessly ahead, sun glinting off wet asphalt. The family had escaped the house, survived the night, But the horror of cold wood was not over. Some things, once seen, never let go. And somewhere, far behind them, in the shadows that were always waiting, it waited.